Hello and welcome to another CEF Tech Talking Podcasts. Now, normally it's myself and Dave and one other.
Plus one, but today we have a plus two.
We had to get the other microphone out, didn't we?
Yeah,
to get all the kit out today.
We are just good friends.
You say that now.
They spend a lot of time together.
On the road.
Yes.
On the road.
Yes.
Today we are joined by the fantastic Ian Park over from MTi, and Pete's joined us from Megger. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm fine, Darren. I'm fine.
Yeah, good. So we've just finished. Let's just paint a picture where we are then, Dave. So we're
at the Newcastle Falcons. They're out there now training on the pitch. So you may hear some excited youth screaming and shouting because there's some kids going on out there. Yeah. And we're in one of their directors' boxes, so executive places. And it's been a fantastic session, hasn't it, Newcastle?
Yes.
Really buzzing. Big questions today.
Loads of questions at the end there. Yeah. More people wanting to know if there's going to be three-phase in new homes. There's got to be three-phase. Then we've got to test it all, Pete. And Ian, this is where it all comes to you guys.
Happy days.
Why are you smiling so much?
Happy days.
So, Ian, please, can you just confirm what you do and who do you do it for?
Yeah, sure. So, my name's Ian Park, and I look after a division called the MTi division, which is Measure and Test Instruments.
Okay.
So basically, we're the division that supplies all the brands of test equipment to CEF.
Right.
Dominated more than anything with Megger. So a lot of Megger products that we supply through MTi.
Hence, you two are always at the stands together.
We're always together.
And we're really close to each other, aren't they?
They are.
Just for warmth, comfort. That's first.
Always go around in pairs. There's security
Safety in numbers.
And how about yourself then?
I'm team leader for Megger. Look after the UK. Have the sales team running under me. And also have my area up here, which is the northeast, so I have an area to cover as well.
So you do these.
Yeah.
So as well as doing tech talks, then what else do you normally get up to?
We do our own talks as well. Well, we have done. We haven't done any this year. We'll hopefully do some next year.
Right.
And we also work with obviously the scheme providers, NIC and Napier. We do some shows with them and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And part of the job is also to do this, meet customers, but we're also doing demos. Trade morning calibration days at wholesalers, so we're always out and about meeting the customers.
Calibration days. Now you guys do this. They do it at MTi, don't they? Calibration.
Yes, we do. We have a calibration division, which we call ACS, Automated Calibration Services. And we basically have a diary pretty much full for 12 months, which we travel the UK, 2 engineers out on the road.
Oh, we know how that feels, don't we?
Oh, don't we just? And they will turn up at the store, they have it all prepped, and there'll be a little bit of a trade show, and we calibrate the instruments. And so the customers that come in can have a look at the new kit, what's available, while cup of tea and a butty, while they're waiting for their instrument to be calibrated.
So it's quite a quick turnaround then.
Quick turnaround. The Megger is such a brand, isn't it? Oh. I can remember my dad with an old Bakelite Megger with a wind-up handle.
Well, to a degree, we still make the wind-up meter, but it's made for areas that don't have electricity, or not electricity, atom sticks, out in the wilds. But we can't sell them in the EU or the UK anymore. Right. So we use them.
That's because Oiki apprentices go around giving people a shock.
That was me. When I got presented with this Megger on one of the first jobs I'd done, what's this handle for? And the electrician at the time went, "Oh, these," and I did. I did give it a quick twist.
To be fair, you can do that with the new ones. It's quicker. They don't see you winding. You just press the button. So it's a bit easier with them.
Now, I know a lot of that stuff is starting to get used in Africa and stuff like that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we've just opened a new office in Africa.
South
Africa, down in Durban, I believe.
Yeah, so you're doing.
We've had sales office bits, but this is a fully fledged Megger office.
But you're right, David. I used to get sent to the van for the Megger. It wasn't, but that's what I used to get sent. Go and get the Megger.
It originated from the very first installation tester. That was a Megome tester, and that's where the word Megger come from. Megger tester, and that was patented back in 1903.
Wow. That's a while ago, isn't it? There's not many around the table that can remember that, is it?
As a company, we can trace ourselves back to about 1889.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, I think you find that it's our fault that we started the testing.
So all these MFTs that are flying around, it's you.
It's probably our fault, yeah.
And it's all about MFTs now, isn't it? Because everyone's got them and everyone's got to keep them going. So
it's the easiest bit of kit to have. It's got all the test requirement elements in it. You don't have to carry 3 meters anymore, though some people do. But we're finding the younger generation are moving over to the MFTs because it's easier.
So what about we do a lot of talking, don't we, about EV?
Yeah, I'm just looking for that nice bit of kit in front of you there. What have we got?
This is just the adapter that you need to connect into a charger point, basically. We supply it with either a Type 1 or a Type 2 lead, so you're covered with everything.
Okay, so different chargers, obviously.
Well, yeah, the
different
majority is
outcome,
Type 2, obviously, now. But with the Type 1s, it's for contractors that might be going back to do an EICR at an existing property, obviously.
Where the
might
first
be an
ones are put in.
old... I've got an old pod point. I don't know if I can... And then others are available, as they say.
It's not the BBC, you're right.
Okay, fine.
Which you really like, right? Yeah.
So I've got an old pod point, which is the Mark 1. So I've got that plug in there ready.
Yeah.
And it just gives the contractor confidence that you're covering all bases with them.
So let me get this right then. So if I'm installing an EV charger, I need to obviously know that EV charger's working. I can't really do that without a car, can I?
No, that simulates the car.
Simulates the
So
car.
this would be get a kit simulates the car.
Yeah, you basically plug it in. You plug it into the charger. There's a couple of pre-tests you do to make sure there's no voltage on the earth. There's a pre-test button to press there, and the light lights up. You've got an earth. Therefore, you need to check out what's going on with the earthing.
Yeah.
If that's okay, you can move the dial. There's two dials at the front there. One is your PP, which is for the current, basically.
Right, so all these types here, so it's got type A, B, C, D.
For domestic and for single phase, it's A, B, C.
Okay.
For more of your three phase, it's because they're like ventilated and machines,
Right.
batteries and so forth. It's usually A, B, D.
Yeah.
So A is an unconnected open circuit. So you plug that into your car, into the charger, and nothing should happen. You move the dial to B, it then suggesting to the charger that there's a car connected. So it goes into its state of it changed state. It knows there's a car. Interlocks should kick in, and then keep the
Clever. This is
plug
great,
in,
isn't it?
and then you move it on to Type C, which means charge. And when the charge, the LEDs on the front there will light up if it's three phase. If it's single phase, then obviously the top one lights. So it's outputting, and you can see the charger go through its various states of operation.
And then because there's a standard 13 amp socket on here, I can then start to do the tests.
Yeah, we use that for single phase. That's connected to the single phase element of that. If you're using three phase, you'll need to use the
You're
4
gonna
mil connectors.
you're
in the
probing
top
it
there.
all in.
You can also use that as a load, so you can put a load onto it using that plank to draw off it if you
To
want
test the charger.
if you need to.
Oh,
Yeah,
cracking. So, and I assume then you're getting lots of people ask you about this at this Tech Talk.
just one or two. One or two.
It's pretty much essential kit to have in the bag, isn't it? If you're doing
It's a give me. Any type of charge point testing, you've got to have that device,
Yeah.
an adapter, because you can't talk to the unit.
Yeah.
That is the only way you can do it. That's the only way.
And I see it picks up control pin errors as well if there's anything that activated the control
that's
pin.
right. What we have two faults that we can simulate on there as well as an earth fault. So you press the button and it should disconnect the charger, and the LED will go out because you do it as a live.
Clever.
And then it should reset when you take your finger off the button, and it
Yes.
resets. And
Yeah.
you do with the CP, which is your control, it's all pilot control and all that.
Talking
And
about that a
that's an
lot
electric. That's an electric fault, and it does the same thing. So you can do some functionality testing of a charger with that before you even start to plug in your tester to do basically the RDD test and
Nice.
You need a loop
Nice
switch.
loop test.
Yeah.
Now, that you had to explain to us, but you've got a clamp tester there. We all know what that is, don't we?
Yeah, that's an earth leakage clamp.
So, right. So we thought we knew what it does, but this is an earth leakage one, right? So we do again. We're getting asked lots of questions on this at Tech Talks as well. So it looks like a standard, but it's doing earth leakage.
It is also a standard clamp. You can measure up to 100 amps using a single core.
Right.
So it will give you the opportunity to use it as a normal clamp.
But that would pick up the sort of earth leakage that would trip an RCD.
Yeah. What you need to do is you put that over your phase and your neutral, or your light and neutral,
Yeah.
of your tails of your board, for argument's sake. And then with a fully loaded board, you can see exactly what it's drawing.
Now I do know that the IT have changed their best. No, they're not their best practice guide. The IT have changed one of their books anyway. Guidance note. That's it. We got them in the end, mate. They've changed their guidance note to include tests like this before you start to do any tests on an existing installation, because of the dangers we know of PME and the leakage that could be going down that.
Yeah, you
that
could
earth.
get some. You can do across neutral testing as well. You find out what's floating on the neutral as well.
Wow, that's good. You see, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this, because just simply going in to do an EICR, you've got to do the ZS or ZE. You disconnect the main earth, and all of a sudden, if that's taking current because there is a fault, you'd need to know before you go disconnecting, wouldn't you?
we tell contractors it's a great tool if you're going to change your board as well.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, you can whack it on the tails.
Yeah.
No cost to you other than being there.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you can do an RCD test, trip it out, see what it trips out at.
Yeah.
And then the two differences. So if you, for argument's sake, you get a measurement of, say, 20 milliamps on that.
Yeah.
and then you trip your RCD out and you find it's got 21 or 22.
Yes.
You know that changing the board over means I'm probably going to put some more circuits in.
Yeah.
Therefore, there are going to be some more things plugged in.
Yeah.
Therefore, my earth leakage is going to rise, and I've got 2 milliamps to play with.
Yeah.
It's all about having that information, isn't it?
It is.
Really? And once you've got the information, you can choose what you want to do with it. So I think it's a great addition to the song. And so we've noticed when we get the talks done, when we finish our talks, we then come out to see how it's going, and you two stands are absolutely packed.
Well, particularly after we've talked about this PEL logger that you've got.
So you brought this along for us.
So talk to us about the
Right.
PEL.
Yeah, certainly.
So this PEL Power and Energy Logger.
Yes.
Now Dave knows a bit about these.
He does. Actually, he did a bit of a demo on first one customer, so I was quite impressed.
Apparently, when you buy one of these, it gives you the instructions to go and log on to find out how to use it. And it's him. There's a video of him.
Yeah, we had a fun time there, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of how-to videos to sort of simplify how to connect it, how to set it up, that sort of thing.
Now, these are quite a lot of initial cost we're finding.
Yes.
But you guys at MTi do a service where you can rent these, don't you?
Correct. So they're available to hire through CEF.
Yeah.
It's a really popular way of doing it. Our hire fleet now, we started sort of with just half a dozen to see how it would be taken up. We're now at 20 odd units that we constantly have hiring out. It's a really popular way to do it. It's also very good for a try before you buy.
Yeah. I
So
get
for
that, yeah.
people to have a go and then realise, how useful a tool it actually is.
And you make the data available, don't you? Some don't, but you do. So you get the whole lot when you've had the monitoring.
Absolutely, yeah. So as a standard service that we offer, customer service, I'm always available on the phone, and so are some of my team. Because I do have situations where people are on site, where they're a bit unsure, have they connected it correctly, that sort of thing. And are they recording it? We've had that before, where they've sent it back after a week and they hadn't actually pressed record.
Press the button.
So we do advise that. But yeah, what we do as a team, when they come back, we automatically, unless the customer's deleted it with their own accord, fine. But as a matter of course, we will download what's called the ICP file, and if requested, I'll produce the report for them, the front sheet for them, send it back, and then when they see it, yesterday there was the hotel in Rotherham. Wanted to have a bit of an understanding of what he was looking at. I'm no expert by any stretch, but I can have a vague idea.
Show them what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, I'm interested because I've got to borrow one of these from you soon to get one of these installed.
No problem.
On my
It's
mate's pub.
£125 a week.
He'll do your mate.
I
I was hoping we were going to come to a deal, mate.
That's not the arrangement, is it?
But I noticed it's 3 phases here.
Yes.
Now, does it have to be a 3-phase system?
No, it doesn't. So there's a selection. When you go through the process of setting up via the free of charge software as well, everything's sort of free on that.
Yeah.
There's all different various installation types. You just click, send, and it's set up ready, including single phase as well.
Right, so it can do single phase.
Yes.
Now, this is we're talking to people about this, me and you, aren't we? When we go and talk about the understanding what capacity is there for EV.
Yeah, when we talk about adequacy of supply, I mean, we show an example of simple current clamp meters just taking an instantaneous reading. But we say if you're going to get any serious idea of how an installation is performing, you've just got to do it over a period of time. And the granularity of that's fantastic because you can go down to seconds, can't you? And up to weeks and months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we recommend a minimum to get a really good understanding of what your installation is doing, the condition of the supply.
Yeah.
Minimum of a week, really. So it not only does the current, it'll also give you power factor, which is a really important part
it's
to
really
know.
important nowadays.
Especially if your power factor's poor, you're spending a lot more money than
you
should be doing.
There's savings to be made there, isn't there?
Massive savings. And it's all automated as well. So when that does a download, all those figures, all those graphs, all that information is automated. Press of a button, you can produce a report.
So if someone's interested in getting one of these, then how do they go about it?
So basically, they contact their local CEF store and just say, look, we'd like to hire the PEL 103. It's on their system.
Right.
They give us a call, which is how it normally is, or they'll drop me an email or one of my team, and we'll arrange to get that sorted. We deliver direct to CEF, and then, or if they need it to site, sometimes that's required, we'll do that as well. And then away they go and connect it up, set it up. We set it up before it leaves, all nice and clean, and set up to the most popular setup that people would do.
Right.
So more often than not, you can just connect the CDs and the voltage leads and press the record and away they go.
This sounds absolutely wonderful to me because I've got to put one of these in soon.
I think even you can manage this.
Sounds pretty good, this, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. Now, we have got to get wrapped up because we're off now to... Are you coming with us?
Unfortunately, I'm coming.
Everyone's got to get packed up and we've got to get ourselves off to Hull. So, right, from me, Dave, and the fantastic teams here from Megger and MTi, thank you for listening to another CEF Tech Talking podcast.